black myrads? Oh god, I think we'll slide down. Oh, what is that? Oh, we can't fight that. He's going to decimate. Oh. No. Oh, there's a bone ripper. Oh, here I am. Oh, no. You know what, Thunder? Whenever I made that noise, that giant roar, we're nowhere near a Myrad tower. It's probably suicide to go investigate it, because making a roar that loud is probably very big. Let's just keep going on our way. Oh, there is a bone ripper. Thunder? I'm going to cast you again over here. I think your time's almost up. Rugar down. Right. That's it. Just keep shield bashing him if you can. Oh, apparently you can't. Oh! Quick. Ah. Oh, and they hurt. Their claws are sharp. Come on, Rugar. Give him a bash. Oh. What's going on? What the? What's that? Are they? Right, I don't think they're friendly. What did they just destroy? What are they chasing? Starling Guardian. They're in our way, aren't they? We're heading in this direction. Oh, they've seen us. Oh, that's a big axe. Come on, Rugar, this is more your size. Good moves. Well done. Okay. Let's take those claws. Those things are beastly. Take that rune battle axe and that rune sword. We might be able to sell them for a penny. Another Starling Guardian. And a third possessed person. And a Starling Mine. Time is of the essence, otherwise I'd love to go in there and have a look. There could be all sorts of ore waiting to be turned into pennies, raw pennies. It's probably bad enough that I'm going to pick flowers, basically. Who is that? Who are they? Why do they need a cage that large? They're the Red Cloak mercenaries that attacked Lishari. If they are, we've got to deal with them. Right. They're definitely hostile, otherwise they wouldn't react it that way. Marauders. Ah, nice one, Rugar. There's one. Oh, well done. Just keep him busy a moment longer. Hang in there, Rugar. Okay. Thunder? Where have you gone? There we are. Get Rugar back. Is he... He's gone and gotten himself trapped in his own cage. I almost felt sorry for him. He must have just tripped in the thickets and become stuck. A silver steel sword. 19 damage. That's a pretty sword. We'll take it. Starling helmets. They are worth a penny as well. Arrows of the Righteous Path. Silver steel bow. Right, make a note of where this is, because we should come back and investigate that. If they're linked to those mercenaries, we need to get to the bottom of it. What? Oh! I saw the arrow fly past my head. You got this, Thunder? Rugar? Well done. Okay, let's not loot that, because it takes us close to those things. I know it pains me too. I thought they were coming for me then. Quicksilver ore. We'll make do with these pennies, but this place is horrifically dangerous. I see why people don't like coming here. Can I get past this one? Hello, I'm a friend. Yeah, that's right. Gotta be close now, aren't we? Yeah, so they should be right around here. Oh! Has he got a summon as well? A new buyer? Oh, right, if we get the caster, the summon will disappear. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh. Can't see because of the flames. I don't have any more potions on my belt. Oh, it's a rat. This is not what I need. Just chug some hawker meat. Oh. Why is everything killing me? I'm getting a sense of deja vu coming around here. So watch this body roll to the floor. But this isn't familiar. Just tucked around here, there's a copy of the Butcher of Ark. There's volume 6. I'm missing volume 5. Salt and a sword. Let's see what they had in this jewellery box. Ah. Got plenty of lockpicks to try again now. Mighty Constitution, 17 health, mentalism costs less to cast. We'll take them. Maybe you could do with that. Sort of health amulet. It's one of those sort of like horny cows. That didn't come out right. Pretend I didn't say that. What are they? They've got one horn. Are they like unicorns? Oh. No, they don't have one horn. Just creep along. Okay, we're in the neighborhood to collect. Oh, it's a camp. That's a rat. Guys? I'm gonna summon thunder over here. Let's armor up. We'll get this rat and we'll investigate that camp. Oh, keep backing up. There we go. Dust, maggot, prickles. This must be the flower. I need 2 more. There's a camp here, and I'm feeling it's going to be dangerous. Just focus the wild mage if you can, everyone. There he is. Oh. Ah, I'm blind. No. You know, Rugar, I had a terrible premonition that I actually didn't have any potions on my on my belt ready to go, so I've put some on now. So if we get caught in a fight, I should last a bit longer than 2 seconds. And I get a dreadful feeling that round this corner is something dangerous. And I get a feeling I need a much stronger apparition than Rugar. There's a camp there. Let's get thunder. It's a rabbit. It's a rabbit. Oh no, it's a bird of some description. Right, let's get this rat. There it is. Okay. Now, let's see this camp. There's a health potion there. We'll take it. We're gonna need it. Take these flowers. They're the ones we need. Right. Let's just go in, hit them hard. With rank 3 of Death Breath. Right, keep them distracted. There we go, everyone. So smooth, it was almost like we practiced it several times. Silver sword, a wild mage hood. It's good armor. We could enchant that ourselves, perhaps, for, like, magicka regen. I'll take this too. We used to wear one of those. Take this. An expert jewellery box. Let's see what he's got locked away. I mean, just because he's wild didn't mean he had to attack us. Bring in a Blade Master. One-handed attacks do 15% more damage. I'd say I'd give that to you, but I've already decided that I'm going to replace you. It's nothing personal. Right, so we have 2 on the list of ingredients for that poison we had to recreate for the golden sickle. For now, it is time for us to return home. It's surely instant, isn't it? Teleportation? We'll get a good night's sleep, we'll go meet Aranthiel. Jespar went on ahead, he's probably given him the initial debrief. We will get well rested and see them in the morning. As I've come home, I've just checked how much money I'm carrying, and I think I could afford some furniture now. So, there's a package on here on this notice board of furniture for 1,500 pennies. I'm going to purchase it. Oh, cheaper than expected. This is fancy, and whoever I ordered it from, they do not mess around. Let's have a look before we go to bed. They even made dinner for us. Got space for a guest? Several guests. Cooking pots. Ooh, bookshelves. Let's start putting all our books up properly. Our very own Phasmalist workbench. Oh, what a bargain this has been. Arcane Enchanter. They must have... Maybe I managed to pull some strings with the order, being a keeper. And Aranthiel sent down some extra goodies for me, or maybe you put a larger part of the bill for this crafting room. Let's see what else. Oh, now that's fancy. That is a lounging chair if I ever saw one. Weapon racks. Display cases. I've collected a fair few weapons, but I've not had... Well, I don't use them. So it'd be nice to have somewhere to hang them. Armor, strong box, little safe. I'll probably just keep my money in the bank still. Oh, he's even sent me a replica of that little statue. Grotesque thing that it is. Got a nice work desk. Some miscellaneous portraits. Oh, they didn't fix that step though. So I keep tripping on it on my way up. Oh. More intimate little office. Oh, someone have a nice hot bath on my way home. And a white garb. Is this a hint from Aranthiel to tell me to stop wearing the green? Because I'm going to wear the green. Especially now that we've lost Constantine. I'll have to go speak to Lishari after this, perhaps. See how she's holding up. This is so much more homely. Plenty of reading material now, too. What do we put up here? Okay, it's just storage. Maybe would have liked to have a little office snuck up at the top here. And a rail. That. What a miserable end that would be if the prophet, saviour of Enderal, just tripped and fell. Died in his own home. Right, let's get a good night's sleep. We'll get changed. Have a quick bath in the morning. Or we'll go see Aranthiel. Clairvoyance, don't fail me now. Aranthiel's not normally in here. He's pointing me to Kalia. He's usually in the Sanctum or in the Emporium, so we'll check there first. Do you want to go speak to Kalia, but I think debriefing Aranthiel needs to come first. And what the High Ones said, that Aranthiel isn't actually one of the emissaries. How do I approach him about that? Sir, you don't have a broom. Sir? Can I see your eyes? It's not a red madness. I'm just gonna leave him be. Maybe it's part of a meditation or something like that. Have I gone the wrong way? I'm in the curarium. Ah, here we are. This is to the... I'm lost. What's the purpose of this? I don't... I'm just gonna get down before anybody notices me. What a weird... Just a weird door to the back of the statue's head. Is this the Emporium then? It is the Emporium. I took a wrong turn.
But that's ridiculous. We have to at least try to negotiate.
You know his demands. There's no basis for negotiation.
He has not seen what we have seen. The writings, the memories of the Prophet. If he just realized...
Taranor Korek would rather throw away his comb that had been a mistake. Believe me, I know him.
I am sure the Grand Master has a solution ready. After all, he was the one who dismissed Korek's attempts to negotiate so swiftly.
First we wait for the group's return. Then we will see.
But it's been a week.
My dams?
A week?
My sirs?
Shit. What took you so long? And where is Constantine?
That's a long story.
I need to get down there.
And those were his final words? I can't believe it.
Simply another victim of the High Ones. If we do not activate the beacon soon, he won't be the last.
Oh,
Was
right.
he a victim
the
of the
beacon.
High Ones?
If it's activated, we'll simply glow the red madness away, won't we? Or maybe we could, for once in all this, do something that actually makes sense. And focus our resources on finding an alchemistical or thaumaturgical solution to this problem, rather than trusting in a pile of scrap metal.
Oh, by the prophet's ass, won't you just shut up for a minute?
Oh, you
All
tell her,
day
Lashari.
The babble getting on our nerves, and nothing you ever say gets any closer to a fucking solution. So why don't you just shove off to one of the bathhouses? Go torture the washerwomen with your never-ending lamentations. That would be helpful for a change.
You will take that back.
Will I?
Oh,
Come here and
Lashari.
make me. I'd be delighted.
Too far. Put that down.
Guard your
This is
tongue,
blasphemy.
wild mage, or...
Or what? Are you gonna kill me? That's what you do best, you and your fucking order.
Silence! You are angry, Lishari Pegast, and I understand why. But in the moment you let that anger destroy this alliance, Firespark's sacrifice will have been in vain. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. I am tired of this endless bickering. We have a responsibility, and we will fulfill it.
Well said, Oranthio. And how exactly do you think we are going to do that? Without the sources, the beacon is as worthless as a heap of rusty iron.
The
The
sources.
chroniclers are on it, and they will find the answer. Novice, tell Commander Aaron to join us. We need to plan the defense of the land. You, Prophet, will come to me as soon as you have recovered. Now, let us get to work.
Without Firespark, then
Please, Tilo, Jorik is right.
things are
A war
heating
with
up.
Merrin? This is madness.
I know that it is going to be tough, but we have no choice. The beacon is all that we have.
Yes, the beacon, the beacon, the beacon. We don't even know what this thing does, let alone if it will work. If you start a war only because of that damn machine, it means putting the lives of thousands at risk, only because of some vague idea. This is ludicrous, Tila. It's entirely irrational. The man I knew would never have acted like this.
Yes, because that man is dead. I've made decisions driven by fear and selfishness before, and they were always wrong. I will not let that happen again. Seriously, Natara, stop acting as if this were about reason. You're just afraid of making sacrifices for what you believe in. You always were.
Sacrifices. This is about your damn pride, Tilor. Nothing else.
Oh, don't just walk past me like I'm not here. She did raise some valid points, but I don't think that's what he wants to hear right now. I guess I'll follow everyone else out. Excuse me.
The sun be
Oh.
praised you've made it.
Lashari?
Constantine. He didn't deserve this. It's just not fair.
It's not fair at all. He acted if he was possessed, but I'm not going to say his mind wasn't strong enough for all of this. He was determined. What happened to him in there was not natural. It's not fair at all.
Someone is gonna pay for it. I'll see to that. I have to talk to you as soon as possible. It's about the seal in that letter we found on the mercenaries in Old Rashengrad. I believe I'm onto something.
Really? Oh, I came across some mercenaries in the desert. But you first. What are you onto?
Their client is from Enderal. From Ark, to be more precise. Let's not talk here, though. Meet me in the Dancing Nomad. I'll
Dancing-
be in the first room upstairs, right at the end of the staircase.
First
And
room
hurry.
upstairs. Hurry, why are we being so... Well, I can imagine why we're being secretive. Maybe the client is within the order. Very well, as soon as I've spoken to Orantiel, I will go meet you.
Yes, see you there.
And Lishari, I know that kind of Constantine was your de facto leader here, but you gotta keep a cool head. You know, that other lady, she might be an ignorant conservative person who doesn't want to risk things, you know. She has some valid points, but you'll only demean your own points by losing your cool. It sounds like we've made some progress on reassembling the machine. It's humming just like it did in the ruin. These are new. They've done a good job. An amazing job, really, transporting all of this. Oh, Aranthiel. Your argument with Natara and the Emporium, what was that about?
Irrelevant.
I think it kind of is.
Madman, Koarek.
Relevant, that is.
He has completely reshuffled the cards. Now we not only have to deal with the High Ones, but also with him and his fanatics. However, there's also good news. You have probably seen it already.
You managed to reconstruct this machine, this beacon.
Physically, yes. And we also know how it works now, and how it can put an end to the cycle.
How? How have you managed to discern that?
It is easier than we thought. The beacon was constructed for one thing, to destroy the High Ones. Once reconstructed, infused with energy and activated, lit, as the Pyreans called it, it can banish the High Ones from this plane of existence.
And here I thought things were going to be complicated, but destroy them, how is that supposed to work? Aren't they like omnipotent? They simply are?
Immaterial, indeed. Essentially, they can be compared to the cold or to shadows. Omnipresent elements, yet we cannot touch them. Energy, if you will. However, there is a counterpart to each energy. Cold and fire, shadow and light. The High Ones and the beacon.
Is shadow an energy? I kind of wish Constantine was here to just fact check a lot of this. So, the beacon, it's some kind of counterpart to what the High Ones are?
Yes. Imagine a torch driving away the darkness in the moment it is ignited. This is what the beacon can do, except that the banishing will be permanent.
That sounds good. Almost too good to be true. What's keeping us from lighting it then? Sharim mentioned sources.
Yes, as I said, it needs to be infused with energy before it can be lit. I take it you have noticed the 3 sockets on its base.
I have.
They are what it draws its power from. Once they are filled, the beacon can be ignited and the High Ones will be undone, once and for all. At least, if the old writings are true. The only thing left for us to find out is what these energy sources are. But we are close. Give the Arcanists some more time and I will let you know if there's any news. In the meantime, get equipped accordingly. Some of the Nerimes have landed already, and outbreaks of the Red Madness become more and more frequent as we speak.
God. Is there nothing more we can do against the Red Madness? Distribute some of the sigil shards among the people? Do we have enough for that?
No, there are not enough, and we must keep the few there are in our possession, in case anything unexpected should happen. The only thing we can do to stop the madness is to destroy the High Ones as soon as possible.
That's another thing to think about. Constantine will have had a shard on him. His eyes didn't glow red. There's absolutely no way the High Ones played a part in his death. It was solely the temple. The consciousness of the temple showed him. And what he saw drove him mad, and that terrifies me. The Trichester back there, she mentioned what happened in Kira. What did she mean by that?
Well, it's only fair to tell you. You've always been honest to me, so I will do the same. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Thousand Fires?
Vaguely, it rings a bell.
Between 8,192 and 8,202, there was an underground movement in Kira called the Red Half Moon. They were brought into being by a group of intellectuals and philosophers who, under all the freedom of thought Saldrine granted them, started questioning the reign of the Golden Queen, and thus the Lightborn themselves.
Freedom of thought that Saldrine granted them? What do you mean by that? That's just a weird way to put it.
Saldrine saw himself as the god of knowledge, and accordingly he reigned his country. In Kira, no opinion is forbidden, which is why it is home to countless magic schools and universities, where people do nothing but discuss the reason for being all day long. An appealing thought if you hear it for the first time, but a cunning people isn't easy to reign. There have been more revolts and riots in Kira than bones in a graveyard, and the Red Half Moon was the worst of them.
There's got to be kind of some limitations, not on sort of oppressing the people, of course. I just simply mean, you know, it's all good to have a free-thinking society, but you got to make sure that that society truly represents the whole rather than just what the factions want. But we digress. This half moon tried to end the reign of the gods, just like your son did, correct?
Correct, just as my son did. But other than him, they fought like cowards. Terror, dust crystals planted in the marketplaces, and assassinations, you name it. If they killed innocents, they blamed the Golden Queen, and if they killed her soldiers, they celebrated themselves as liberators. However, they never succeeded in putting her down, and neither did she in destroying them, which is why the court turned to the Lightborn for help. A division of the Holy Order led by me, a young keeper of barely 30 winters.
Why did you have to come all the way from Enderal? Didn't the Order have a bastion on Kira or some kind of presence?
None to be taken seriously. You know, not everywhere is the Order as present as here on Enderal, or as it once was on Narim. In Kira, we were ridiculed. I saw the Kiranian keepers who served the Golden Queen. A bunch of decadent gluttons who had dedicated themselves to the court's banquets rather than to the will of the gods. They were pathetic.
You seem to have a very strong opinion on them, and it sounds like they certainly didn't help in promoting the ideals of the Order. No wonder they had such a low opinion of them, but what happened?
A moon after our arrival, we received an anonymous tip on where one of the half-moon spaces was supposed to be located, in a small coastal village. As we entered it, we were greeted by the township's elders, and the villagers themselves had gathered behind them. You should have seen how they stared at us, as if we were plunderers. I should have seen by then that something was wrong.
The anonymous tip. It was a trap, wasn't it? And how come the villagers feared you then? Didn't they know you'd been sent by their queen, or if you got an anonymous tip, perhaps people were stoking behind the scenes, they were stoking a rebellion or an atmosphere of fear.
Yes, but if there was one thing the Red Half Moon was good at, it was sowing lies.
Here we go.
According to them, we were nothing but butchers who executed everyone unable to recite the revelation word for word.
And the cunning people ate that up. But let me guess, the entire thing was a trap.
That's what they wanted us to think, and they did a good job at that. A veiled person here, an archer on the rooftops there. I got nervous, because villagers or not, they bested us in numbers, and they had kettled us. Then a man seemed to charge at us, and I gave the order to draw weapons. It was just the spark they needed.
They saw you draw swords and it came to a fight.
No, not a fight. A massacre. The villagers had pitchforks and shepherd staffs, and we had shadow steel swords, let alone the fact that we were trained warriors. I realized that I had made a mistake a split second after it started, but it was too late by then. My men, they slaughtered them all, like pigs. At the end of the day, 300 people were dead, and only 10 of them were keepers.
Damn. These keepers really are incredibly highly... They are the elite of the elites when it comes to warriors. I know they were only villagers, but that's an extraordinary disparity there. And you wouldn't have been able to do anything to stop the fight. The moment it started, it would have... Like those villagers, even if you'd managed to take control of the keepers again, you wouldn't have been able to do that with the villagers. They would have just been wild, essentially. They're untrained. So the Red Half Moon, they set it all up then, I get that. But... well, I kind of get why. You said that they don't care if they slaughter innocents to get their way. They set that village up, didn't they? They wanted to just have an example of your cruelty, as they put it.
Well, what better proof of the Lightborn's cruelty is there than a division of keepers who, out of pure wickedness, slaughtered an entire village, women and children included. If the people had already distrusted us before that distrust had turned into hatred, and nothing could have changed that, not even the Golden Queen's heralds. We set sail back to Enderal a week later. 2 years after that, the Red Half Moon destroyed itself due to infighting. Ironic, isn't it?
You panicked, things got out of control, and there's no shame in that. You had your men's lives to think of. They set it all up when they played you, but you didn't have a choice. What were you supposed to do? Let them butcher you back?
Maybe. The Lightborn and the Grandmaster back at that time showed the compassion I wouldn't grant myself. But I learned one thing, and that is that I will never again let fears about my own life influence my decisions. What happened in Kira was the consequence of my own cowardice, and my unwillingness to give my life for a just cause. That will never happen again.
There's something else I need to ask you, or rather I need to tell you. Back on Half Moon Island, the High Ones appeared before me and they told me something there.
What?
This Korek, Taranor Korek, he sees himself as one of the emissaries too. The Messiah.
Really? That's interesting. Provided this is true, that means that the emissaries aren't just people who fight the cleansing. They are people who fight for it too. And that also means that whoever granted us our powers and our purpose isn't an enemy of the High Ones, but a neutral party.
Not necessarily. Because the High Ones... They said... All I have is their word, and I know how tentative and sketchy that is, but they assured me that he wasn't an emissary, and they said that you weren't an emissary either, but they worded it in a strange way. They said the older Ranthiel. I'm just curious if your son was the real emissary. But this veiled woman I told you about, could she be the third party, or maybe a part of it?
Possibly. But we will find out all about that once we've taken care of the High Ones. Now, with the Neremes against us too, There's only one thing that matters. Resolve. We must not hesitate and allow anything to delay the lighting of the beacon any further.
But again, with the back on the emissaries, the High One said that Korak is wrong. He isn't an emissary, and they said neither were you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, according to the High Ones, Korak only thinks himself an emissary because he wants to feel important. I don't think that's why you're doing it. I don't think that's why you're doing it at all. If you are pretending to be an emissary, I think you're trying to... If it was your son, I believe you'd be trying to continue his work. I'm not going to say he only thinks himself an emissary because he wants to feel important. Because that kind of implies... It is true, though, about Korak. He only thinks himself an emissary because he wants to feel important.
What? And the same goes for me?
No,
That's ridiculous.
I know the
They wanted
insinuation.
To deceive you, to sow discord. I saw the threat the cleansing posed before anyone else did. And without me, we would have never come that far. Something changed inside me since I fled from my prison. I feel it. And it is the same thing that made you a part of all this. Now, enough of this.
I could have worded that much better. Oh, that crystal that I found in the ruin. It's at the center of the machine now. Yeah, I've definitely angered Arantiel. I'm convinced that he's keeping something from me, but he said that he wouldn't keep anything from me. I just walked past. I need to meet up with Kalia. But Lashari first. You know, there's no pressing matter to attend to with Kalia. But Lashari, she has a lead on those mercenaries, and that if the person who hired them is from Ark, and she doesn't want to speak to me about it within the grounds of the Order, I think we have something to be worried about.
Well, comes a point.
Oh.
You just have to live with it.
Fair crowd coming out the pub, but I suppose it is quite late.
Evening.
Evening. Dancing Nomad. I hope Lashari's still up. I'm not going to have to wake her. She won't be asleep here, surely. She'll have a room up in the Sun Temple. Right, up the top of the stairs, first door. What? Is this just Lashari?
Prophet, are you in there?
It is. What?
Kiraj, what? Why? What have you done?
I haven't done anything to us like this when I got here.